Hello?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they're talking about.
Sounds like something a guy in a van would tell me.
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you.
What were my options again? Sorry. Come on! With Corey.
I hope everyone has a ball.
Kevin. Don't listen to Stefan and his crap rules. And Stefan.
Pacers versus the Mavs, which I believe is also tonight. Oh, goddamn you, Siri. Stop. I've never once called you and actually wanted to talk.
He said Pacers.
Pacers, yeah. There's a no-hitter right now, bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
Wow! You know it's bad when Kevin's correcting people on their pronunciation of names. You know you're in trouble. You, sir, are god-awful.
That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. It's time!
And here we go.
Wait! Trubisky.
Cut and Clyde's laugh out next time. I forgot about it.
Welcome. What were you saying, Kevin?
Cut and Kawhi's laugh out next time.
Poor Kawhi.
Not happy.
Had enough of Kawhi, huh?
Nope. Me and him are on speaking terms today.
I mean, Corey knows him personally, so at least Corey, maybe you could give him a shout out and let him know that
Everything's gonna be
his laugh is
Kawhi?
of course, yeah.
Yeah, we need his viewership back.
Saw you were pretty tight with Giannis too, but I didn't want to blow up your spot again, so
Only the best players.
yeah, figured. All right, so this is episode 122. What the note says anyway. But I'll believe it. How are you guys doing today?
Managing.
Managing.
It's hot.
We actually got a little bit of sunlight today up here in New York, and it was a little nice surprise. Had rain for a month straight, I think.
It's supposed to be in the 90s all next week. It's going to be brutal.
Oh, how's your weather looking out west, Kevin?
It's 86 last weekend. Now it's gonna be 70.
70.
Comfortable. Little drizzle today, but it keeps the grass green, so I'm happy about it. I don't have to water my lawn this week.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
It is nice. To quote someone on this podcast.
What's that?
I said to quote someone on this podcast. It is nice. I gotta join Corey. I gotta upgrade my coffee game.
Oh boy, what is this?
Alright.
Coffee or beer? What are you drinking?
Well, Corey's not allowed to have alcohol, so.
Yeah, so I had to. This isn't coffee.
Oh.
So we got
I'm really
one
drinking coffee.
drinker.
No, not really drinking.
I'm really drinking it. Oh, let's get into Kevin's question of the week. Last week, is it acceptable to spoil a TV show if the person is a few years behind? How did this one pan out, Kevin? Hopefully in my favor.
You know what? Let me look it up because I was more focused on this week's results so far. I think the last I saw, it was 6-4, I think, something like that. Oh, God, it feels like a lifetime ago, this question. Ended at 50-50, 6 votes.
Nice.
Didn't really push this question, apparently. Because we already got 14 votes on this week's question.
I think that means that after the season finale, you can't spoil the show.
It's 50-50, so...
Yeah,
You
but
can spoil
That
it
means
for
one of
half
us
the
can
audience,
for
just
you.
not the other.
what's that?
That means one of us can. That'd be 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
No.
1.5 of us can, because, there's 3 of us. So...
No. Let's not play that game.
Oh, we're
You
playing.
know what's really sad is that I've just been watching other shows and I'm just in no hurry to, because I just know I'm not gonna catch up before the season finale. So what's the point of starting it right now? You know?
Yeah. I do have this question for Corey, and it's not a spoiler really. It's just your opinion on, because a lot of people didn't like this last episode and how things went. Corey, did you care for it or no? Yes or no? We'll just leave it as.
Yeah, well, I could actually speak a little bit without ruining it. Yeah, because after seeing the director notes afterwards, do you watch those ever after the episode?
Sometimes depends on what I'm feeling.
He was
like.
saying how it's easy when you're doing certain scenes to. He wanted to show all the chaos, basically, and by doing it from Arya's point of view, he was able to do so. Like everything she had to go through, because a lot of people didn't like that, but you really got a feel for what everyone was going through by being where she was at.
Yeah, I think it's more
I
from
liked
the
that
stance of what I texted you that night. How everyone's feeling the same. I think about now, how it just changed so dramatically, to an out of character.
That's because you only have 6 episodes. They should have stretched it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess there is that one point where you're just like, screw this. This is my game now, like type of situation. But I think that's as non-spoiler.
I know. I don't want to
without
go
getting
too far
in
with it.
depth on it.
I thought I could describe the Arya thing better, but I had to stop myself.
I feel like I already have like an idea of some stuff that goes on because it's impossible to like avoid
It
it.
is. I was telling Kevin today because he asked if I think you were in it. Yeah, he said if I saw Endgame, and I was like, it's like too late now. Like I'm still gonna go see it, but I know everything now. It's been too long. I waited too long.
See, I don't know everything, but I haven't really. I feel like there's been more stuff being said about. I feel like with Endgame, it was just like it's like that first week that it comes out, and then everybody kind of like dies off about like talking about it. Because if you hadn't seen it, then usually you're not talking about it at that point.
I feel like Endgame was that first movie though, where like no one posted anything about it for a solid week and a half, 2 weeks. Until the directors
I know it
were
took me
like,
about 3 to 4 weeks. Like, what has it been out for like a month before it's finally? It just got ruined for me this week. I happened to be going just like searching through Twitter, and someone put a whole big post that I like follow. So I was reading, and he didn't like announce spoilers at the top, and I'm like, what the hell? I just read through this too quickly, and now I know everything.
I think it's safe. I can say that someone dies in it, and I feel like I said that to my wife. Saying, hey, one person dies, and I thought I said one person dies that I don't really care about, and another person that hits me, in my fanhood, and I didn't appreciate it, and I cried twice now. I've seen it twice. And the second time, she looked over, and she's like, this character doesn't die, and she looked over and saw the tears running down my face, and she was like, oh, maybe I was wrong.
Jesus.
So
it's a man invested in Marvel right there.
I was gonna say, obviously you are more invested in Marvel than Game of Thrones.
It was mainly the character. It was my favorite character. So
See, I guess we're not even that close friends. So I don't even know who your favorite character is.
I try not to. Actually, I have a little figurine that used to be in sight during the podcast that's now on the other side. So maybe it's a good thing.
I'm pretty sure my favorite character dies.
Hold on.
Thanos.
I got the bucket.
Yeah, Thanos isn't on there.
He's
not an Avenger.
He's right there.
Is he? Oh, he is. Yeah.
Then let's see here. One of these characters dies, and so does another one.
So does another one.
Anyways, in some other big TV news, Black Mirror season 5. Corey, I know you still haven't.
You watch Black Mirror
Right.
and you don't watch Game of Thrones. That's what I'm mad about. I haven't even watched Black Mirror.
Huh?
I haven't even watched Black Mirror yet. I want to.
Why haven't you? Is the real question.
Because I can watch Game of Thrones whenever. I have to wait to watch Black Mirror.
Why do you have to wait to watch Black Mirror?
With,
Yeah, isn't it on Netflix?
well, no, with my significant other.
All right. Well,
We have too many shows to watch together. Game of Thrones, I can just leisurely watch on my own.
get up to date on it. Miley Cyrus is going to be in season 5.
She's coming in like a wrecking ball.
I don't think so.
Dun-dun-dun.
Actually, there was like a few like big names in there. What's his name? Topher.
Great.
Guy that played Spider-Man. Yeah,
The one from that 70s show.
yeah, that guy.
Topher Grace didn't play Spider-Man.
He played
Who's-
Venom in the third one. The
Oh,
alter
who was
ego.
he?
The black one.
Back when Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
Same difference. Same difference. Anyways, it's only supposed to be 3 episodes though for this season, which I'm hoping that they must be like,
Well, did
an
you
hour.
do the interactive one?
huh?
There's like an interactive movie.
Yeah, I know. So I'm assuming that's why it's shorter, because they did that whole movie also like in between the seasons. So
I also haven't done the Man vs. Wild one. That one looks
yeah, apparently my niece Lydia loves that. Ryan was texting me about it, saying that she loved it. So I was talking to him about it. I think eventually you'll start to see a lot more of those choose your own adventure type things come out.
Well, Netflix has got to get desperate. They got to come out with some creative stuff now that all these like big TV
Everything's gonna be
corps are
gone,
like,
man.
Oh,
Now, like you're gonna have to literally have like 10 different streaming services just to watch everything.
it's not gonna work because people aren't gonna subscribe to everything, and it's just
Huh?
gonna.
Well, that's how you're just going to be able to subscribe to what you want.
Miss Hulu, the golden years.
I'm cutting Hulu. I'm trying to talk Samantha into it. I don't need it.
Well, I'm just saying, I missed the golden years where it was like all the big
Yeah.
channels.
Oh, Hulu has live sports now.
That's all they have now.
That's all I keep seeing commercials for now. Hulu has live sports.
I'll wait until I'm looking at options to get rid of YouTube TV because they jacked up the prices to where it's like, oh, well, is it even worth it now?
Right.
After Saturday, I'm getting rid of Showtime, too.
Well, I use I allegedly use someone else's account for that. So, and then same with HBO.
What's Saturday? Deontay Wilder?
Mm-hmm.
I just saw.
We just need to save some money until I get a job.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I love boxing and everything, but Samantha doesn't watch anything on Showtime, so it is strictly for me, and I only watch boxing on there.
And you can just do what I do for UFC, allegedly, and find it streaming somewhere.
Yeah, I can. Well, I can. Normally, if you are within the hour or 2 hours after, so if you want to stay up till midnight or 1 in the morning, it will pop up on YouTube. There will be someone that has it before it gets shut down.
Yeah.
Which is normally what I do.
What's Showtime like? Is it like $10-15 something like that?
It's 15.
Yeah.
So between that and Hulu, I'm saving 30 right there.
Right.
Comcast is coming out with their streaming, and then the guy said it was either going to be $10 to $20 a month. It's like, what?
I was gonna get rid of HBO too, but Samantha wants to watch that Biggest Little Lies show.
Biggest Little Lies.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Reese Witherspoon is in it. A whole bunch of other girls. It's like this girl show.
I want to watch Chernobyl. I heard that's dark though.
I know. I wanted to watch that too. That's something that's up my list. Probably before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's a quick.
I almost started it the other night actually, and then I didn't. I think like the first episode was like an hour and a half or something like that. Crazy.
Good night.
Thanks, you too.
Our first live interview.
Should have asked if she wanted to come over.
Do you know anything about sports? We haven't even started talking about them yet.
What's your opinion about Showtime and the HBO?
Yeah, no, it's crazy because what Disney's going to come out with their own thing, NBC's got their own thing coming out, AT&T's got a thing coming out.
I like what Disney's doing, which is packaging. They're allegedly packaging Hulu, ESPN, and their streaming service together. So
that's sweet. If they do package ESPN together, that's cool because I'm allegedly using someone else's account for Plus.
A lot of allegedly things going on around here.
I may allegedly go to a store later and no. Anyway. So this week's question, very controversial. A lot of people up in arms about it. By a lot, I mean 3 of us voted no. Wendy's running their 50-cent Frosties, so saving you money, Corey, with your 50-cent Frosties instead of the normal whatever it is. 'Cause I never get Frosties usually. I did get one today though. Yeah. This question got me in the mood. But it raises a question.
Wait, are we getting money for that advertisement you just did there?
There's no name on it, so.
Ah, damn it.
I wish. Do you dip your fries in your Frosties when you get one? That's the question this week. And so
I'm
far,
guessing that Kevin's a no. Corey must be a no.
Corey hasn't voted yet.
Oh, Corey hasn't voted.
I'm a no. I don't even go to Wendy's.
I'm not saying I do it every time, but I think I voted yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I definitely have, and it is delicious.
You're sick.
Huh?
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't understand?
I don't understand you don't taste the French fry then. You just taste the Frosty.
Salt.
It's like the
It's like
salt
sweet-
and
it's
the
like a-
sugar are a good mix.
Yeah,
That's why people like chocolate covered bacon.
exactly. Chocolate covered pretzels.
Yeah.
Well, at least
Salt and caramel ice cream.
I will say, out of the 3 no's, it's one of our other co-hosts, Gary. He likes to pop in from time to time.
He's often disguised as Stefan,
Yeah.
but he comes in.
Jesus. I don't even think who's he kidding? He'll eat anything.
Just not together, okay? They have to be separate.
True, maybe not together. He is pretty picky with his foods, actually. One thing he'll never turn down, and the one thing I can almost always guarantee he's going to get anytime we go out anywhere is a burger
And pizza.
and pizza.
That's the same as me.
Like we can go to like a restaurant we've never been to before. Guys get a cheeseburger. Nothing on it, just cheese, ketchup.
Just they're all American.
You could make that at home. Like try something different.
I wish I could. So this is now getting me into the frame of mind where
We're not talking about sports at all this whole episode.
No, let's
but,
not. There's nothing
There's a
going
sweet
on.
restaurant down here, by the way, when you do come
yeah.
visit that Samantha and I just went to that you will like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have to wait till I get there to. It's
It's called Papa Docs. Yeah, I mean, I could describe it to you, but you really gotta feel
experience it.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'll be down there in a few months.
I'll be in
Anyways,
Syracuse in a
Kevin,
few
what were you
weeks.
saying?
What are the places I gotta hit? 3 weeks from now. Actually, to the day. 3 weeks to the day, I'll be back in Syracuse.
What places you got to hit in Syracuse?
Are you a dinosaur fan, Kevin? Do you make sure to always go there?
I haven't been since before we left. Stefan, we went with you last time.
Oh yeah.
I went. That was Shay's first time and only time.
That's
It was not to say it was just the fact that she had never been. I know I got to do like Tully tenders.
Yep.
I gotta get me a Hoffman hot dog.
Salt potatoes?
Yeah, that's coming in on Saturday too. Trying to think what else.
When's the time frame you're coming back?
The 6th to we fly back late on the 6th, and we leave the 15th morning.
You come here so you'll basically be here the 7th?
Yeah. To the 14th.
Taste of Syracuse is that weekend.
The 7th, 8th, 9th?
Well, 7th, 8th. I think they just do Friday, Saturday. They don't do Sunday.
Well, I got plans on Saturday and the Friday, so. Darn. I don't like Taste of Syracuse, though. It's always hot.
You go early on Friday, it's not bad.
I'm always picky because it's like, this is my dollar. I don't know which one I want. I don't know.
I try everything and anything for $1.
Yeah, I guess.
Put a fucking turd on a stick.
Then there's lines.
And charge me $1. I'll say, yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah. Deep fried. Ooh. Come
on. Trying to think of what else is new here. I mean, there's some new breweries and stuff.
Yeah. I have a designated driver, so we're good there. Yeah. I still didn't.
I thought she left. What the heck?
Is that brewery at the one by Destiny? Is that still open?
What one?
The one by where?
Brewery?
Yeah, the one.
Buried Acorn.
Sour one.
Buried Acorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's still open.
All right, maybe I'll check it. Because isn't it the sour one?
I haven't been there yet, so I would, if you were going, I would definitely tag along if I was able to.
Right.
That place your dad took us was pretty good. The
yeah.
Guys opened their own pub.
Yeah, Pie Guys opened up a little pub. That was pretty good. That's over by, I can never think of the name of it's either, I think it's Westvale Plaza.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, really?
I can never think of it either. I never go.
I always get it mixed up between Western Lights Plaza and Westvale Plaza.
Westvale Plaza is still open?
I can never figure out. I never remember which one's which. It's where the DMV is.
Is that
down that?
Well, is that the one?
Is that Western Lights?
Westvale. That's the one by West Hill, right?
Yeah, that plaza, the one by West Hill.
Okay, I gotcha. That's how I know.
Whichever plaza that is. It's got the Wegmans there.
There's the one by West Hill, and then there's the one by Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Right.
I can never remember which one's which. I still can't. I don't know which one it is.
All I know is I videotaped someone sledding in the back of a Jeep at the one you're talking where the brewery's at.
Oh, yeah.
Someone got dragged in by a Jeep on a sled one winter.
Jeez.
Good times.
Oh, I'm mad. Pretty sure I know who it was.
Yep. Probably do.
The only one crazy enough to do it.
Also, I think I just stopped filming and then he wiped out into a snowbank, so. It was pre-YouTube, so. Otherwise, I could have been a millionaire.
Damn it. Could have made it on America's Funniest Home Videos, at least.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some basketball.
Whatever.
What's the matter? What are you? You're over?
I gotta do my one and done. So that made you that.
So we got.
I got 2 hours.
Yeah, you got time. Is it 2 hours? Yeah, it's Western. So I don't even know where we left off.
The Bucks, Celtics, and the 76ers Raptors series weren't over yet.
Okay, so Bucks finished up. Celtics.
The notes are accurate to where we left off. I just added to it. So, Game 5 for the Bucks Celtics. Game 5, Sixers Raptors. All the Game 5s.
All the Game 5s?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So, Bucks Celtics was a bunch of series.
Ended Game 5.
Ended Game 5. That was a wrap. Also may have been a wrap on Kyrie's time in Boston.
And apparently Terry Rozier's,
I was going to say,
well,
a lot of the Celtics players
if
are...
Kyrie goes, Terry Rozier will stay. I think he just doesn't want to play second fiddle to Kyrie anymore.
I don't know. Some of his comments were kind of scathing towards Gordon Hayward, too. How do you rekindle that?
Oh, I didn't see anything said towards Gordon Hayward.
Oh.
All I saw that he said that he went through a lot of shit this year, which basically is like him having to like take a back seat to Kyrie.
He said it was hard because most of the time when he came out on the floor, it was to spell for Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. And he goes, and at that point, since I wasn't the number one, I wasn't the man, I wasn't asked to be the man, a lot of the time Gordon Hayward was on the court with me. So Coach Stevens ran a lot of plays for him, whether he was politically correct about it, but you could tell how he felt about it.
Yeah.
So when we struggled in those times, I mean, I wasn't asked to use my full talents, is how I want to put it. And he goes, and I know Coach is under pressure because he has so many good, talented players. So many of them want new contracts. Some of them just got huge contracts, so he's forced to play them big minutes. And he goes, he was in a tough spot. Totally understand. But he goes, and then when there was, so say I spell Kyrie, he goes, Coach Stevens was then trying to do different things and putting me and Kyrie out there together. And I felt like I'm better when the ball's in my hands. So basically he was kind of saying Kyrie should have played the 2 guard.
Right.
But refused to do so.
Yeah.
And it made the chemistry of the whole team dismantled. I guess those comments aren't scathing. He's just kind of saying, I think he thinks he's as good as those players, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, he was playing like that in the playoffs last year. I mean, he balled out. I don't know if,
he said Kyrie was talented. He didn't say anything nice really about Gordon, but I think he understands why Kyrie had the ball a lot. But
my only problem is that Kyrie just did not show up in that series at all.
No. I think we can say it now that I've seen him run his own team. He's not a leader. Right. He's a great player, but he's not a leader. And Al Horford really should have been the captain of that team and led them the whole way. And I think there was like a struggle there. I think Al Horford was like letting Kyrie do it, but at some point, like in the playoffs, it seemed like Al had to take over.
Yeah, I just feel like Kyrie tried to make it like he just tried to force things. Like he just tried to force himself to get going, and instead of just letting it happen naturally, you know.
I think Dame's in that position right now. I think Damian Lillard feels like he has to force it. It seems like he was trying to be passive and let it come, but it's not happening.
Right. I don't know what's going to happen with the Celtics.
I don't even know if Portland, I'm off them. They lost. They're done.
Already?
Portland's still in it, though, okay? The Celtics are done. Bucks moved on. The other Eastern Conference semi went down to Game 7 between the Sixers and Raptors.
One of the best Game 7s I've ever seen.
Definitely one of the best finishes to a Game 7 I've ever seen.
The first buzzer beater to end a Game 7 in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
And that ball literally sat on that rim forever. I just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe when I saw it.
Crazy shot ever.
it looked like it hit the rim about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably felt like that for all the 76er players.
Raptors, Kawhi did exactly what I thought was going to happen. I thought he'd will them past the 76ers. Whether he can do that against the Bucks is a different story.
This is also, speaking of history, Kevin, the first time in history that the two players with the highest efficiency ratings in all of the playoffs have had to meet up. It's never happened. That's kind of interesting. So we're literally seeing the two players who are playing at their best right now get to go at it.
Yeah. I mean,
it should make for an interesting series, but after what I saw yesterday, when we get to it, I'm not so sure.
One thing I will say I want to know about is who do you think's coming back for the Sixers? Do you think it's all coming back, or do you see just Embiid and Simmons while the other two leave? Harris.
I think Butler's gone. I think they re-signed Harris because he's totally okay with being a role player. I think Butler proved actually in the playoffs that he really is capable of being the man. Yeah. I think he wants to be the man somewhere, which is what I go back to with Chicago. He should have never left Chicago.
Right, that's the problem. Like, if he felt like he didn't have enough talent around him in Chicago, like you're not gonna be able to go.
I think when
you're
Rose
not
went
gonna
down,
be able to go and be the man somewheres and not have like other talented players around you.
No, I think he was willing to be the man in Chicago, but when he saw that Rose was never going to be the same, he was like, what are we doing here? I need out.
But now he's got that talent around him, but now he's not the guy, the man enough, because now he's got other studs around him.
They aren't. Well, maybe Bruce Brown's got to go, because he doesn't seem to be letting Jimmy be the man when Jimmy proved that he could be.
I will say one thing is for sure, Embiid's got to get in better shape. I mean, that whole series, he was plagued with illness or injuries, and I mean,
I think you limit again. That goes back to Bruce. I really think Bruce Brown should be gone, but you got to limit his minutes in the regular season, knowing that it's a marathon.
Yeah, but I mean, he was gone most of the season too. There were stretches, 10-game stretches where they weren't with Embiid. It felt like.
The problem is, I don't even think it's about anything about him getting in shape. When have we ever seen 7-foot guys just stay healthy? Like
Kevin Garnett.
He's
the Iron Man.
Dirk.
All the way until the very end.
Yeah.
Nowitzki until his later.
But Kevin Garnett was also what, like 175 pounds soaking wet?
That's the key. Yeah. The key is Kevin Garnett never was over like 215.
Yeah, the dude was fucking a stick. I mean, he was jacked, but he had no extra weight on him.
You're right. We haven't seen people that are built like Embiid, who's the heaviest player in the league right now.
Over like under, and Zion gets hurt before.
When Zion comes in, I said that last podcast. He will be, but yeah, you're right. Someone that big and heavy normally gets injured. Probably since like Shaq. Shaq didn't get injured too much at his weight. But again, you're talking a freak athlete and Shaq. I think Zion's going to stay healthy at that weight. I just think he's built different.
I mean, to the Shaq point though, I think Shaq was more of a not as athletic type. He wasn't sprinting down courts as much, I think.
Young Shaq was.
Yeah, young Shaq was definitely.
Young Shaq was like the first time we'd ever seen anything like that.
I'm thinking more like Lakers Shaq.
Yeah, Lakers Shaq. Yeah, he wasn't. He was just feed me, Seymour. I'll knock these dudes out of the way and dunk on them.
Just toss it up. I'll come down with it.
I don't know. I just know notoriously tall guys just don't stay healthy.
Yao Ming.
Yeah.
But weight too. Yao was almost 300 or was 300.
Who's your biggest disappointment for a big guy where you were so excited that he was on your team and then injuries or something happened?
That he was on my team or just
on your team?
I was going to say all time it's Greg Oden. He should have been a superstar and he got fucked. His body failed him. When he was healthy, like his first year, I was like, maybe he is going to bust out. Then his second year when he played his first 25 games and was putting up 20 and 10, I'm like, all right, that's the Greg Oden that we all thought he was going to be, and then bam, it happened again to his other knee. I was like, it's over. His body will not let him be a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't. As far as my team, probably Michael Olowokandi. He was on the Timberwolves for a while, and he just always got hurt. I mean, that's the story of his career. He might be the biggest bust ever.
Yeah, I remember hearing.
Number one pick, he
things,
just never panned out.
I think my biggest bust was Fab Melo, the Celtics.
R.I.P.
Did he like run into like a door or something?
No, I think an honest answer for you though, I think everyone expected Bill Walton to really be a superstar in the NBA, and his knees didn't allow him.
To be fair, I wasn't a fan of the Celtics then, though. So
yeah. But at that time, Bill Walton had just dominated college. And
right.
in his first few young years in Portland, he was dominant still. And then his one knee went, then he went to the Celtics, the other one, done.
I think for me, with the Sixers, it would be Dikembe Mutombo, because he came in from Atlanta as like the shot block master. Not in my house. And just never played because he was always injured as a Sixer.
Wasn't he on Denver first?
I don't know. I just remember like being so excited that he was on the Sixers, and then
yeah,
it was also.
I mean, he got them to the. Well, he helped get them to the championship. To be fair.
Yeah. But I mean, he wasn't like his normal young self.
Yeah, no, he wasn't that early in Mutombo.
Yeah. Basically flipping off the crowd every game.
That's why it's better just not have any big guys.
Well, the team that's been dominating the past few years have gone that route.
Touche to that. So yeah. Raptors advanced past the 76ers.
They
now we
played the
got
Bucks.
game one versus Bucks. That was what?
Last night.
No, Wednesday. Last night. Yesterday.
That was last night. Yep. 108 to 100.
I thought Raptors were pretty much in control of it.
Going into the fourth quarter, yeah.
I had stopped watching probably around halftime. And
they were still in control going into the fourth quarter.
I know. And then all of a sudden I looked.
9-point lead into the fourth.
I saw they lost by 8 points.
I had it on in the background, and I was watching the score mainly, and it was like every time I looked up, someone was like in the lead by 4, and then it changed, and then next thing I know, I'm like, oh, all right, well, the Bucks are just pulling away now.
Well, in all fairness, it was Splash Mountain happened, and they didn't know what to do. That's what they're calling Brook Lopez nowadays, because he can shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah, that was the stat that surprised me. 29 points from him.
He averaged 5 points a game last season, or last series.
Somebody did take him for that game.
Yes.
And our NBA one and done, and I was very unhappy about that.
We're in
I was too. I was all the way around because you guys picked players that I should have pulled way ahead with Giannis, and it didn't happen.
Well, Kyle Lowry, thank you.
Yeah, like with my slow start that I had, like I'm still within range to like possibly catch.
That was my goal of taking these big players. I wanted to build a cushion, and it's not happening. So I know I'm screwed because eventually I'm going to run out, and you guys will walk.
Right. Hopefully.
It was a strategy that's not playing in my favor.
See, he does it with NBA one and done, but he won't do it with NASCAR.
No, he wants to use all. He likes to save all the big dogs for the last one.
How come it works in NBA one and done, but won't work in NASCAR? It's working out for people in one and done.
I don't know. Who the hell knows? Moving on to Western Conference. Warriors Rockets went to Game 6 in Houston. Houston could not get it done without Kevin Durant on the floor. Can Houston ever get past Golden State in the playoffs? You can't even get past them without the best player in the league.
By far, according to you.
By far the best player in the league.
They couldn't get past them before him either, though. So it's not like.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they don't even like last year they took him to Game 7, right?
Yeah, but then Chris Paul went down in Game 6, so that was their excuse.
Chris Paul came back Game 7, right? Probably a little hurt, but he was there. He was played Game 7. And this time they couldn't even get to Game 7. They couldn't even.
Well, this time, to be fair, I think this is a worse team than last year.
Well, yeah, they obviously weren't playing.
Losing Trevor Ariza and some of their other parts hurt them.
It's fair. It's fair.
But either way.
But what do they do differently? I mean,
at this point, with the way the Warriors are assembled, you need 3 superstars. You can't beat them without 3. Look at Portland. They're going to struggle with only McCollum and Lillard. They might get swept.
That's a good possibility.
It's a good possibility. And Harden and Paul, it's just not enough. Harden's amazing.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, Golden State might not lose the rest of. I don't know if anybody in the East can.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to get to. Look at the East too, because if that's my theory, the 2 teams left in the East don't even have a team with 2 superstars.
Right.
They have 1 each. They're probably going to get spanked. So I don't know what you do other than assemble 3 and hope that it works. Because that's the only thing that I've seen work.
Or you just
LeBron James,
or you
Kevin
just
Love.
help more people go down in injuries.
Yeah. I mean, LeBron James, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, they can get it done. You need 3.
Well, to be fair, they only got it done once.
Right. And they only got it done once.
I don't know how many tries.
And they had the best player in the planet. And now they don't. Now Golden State has the best player on the planet. So
yeah. The shift has happened.
Yeah, it's over. I don't even know if he might be 4th, maybe 5th now.
LeBron?
If you really want to get into it, yeah, he's probably 5th. There's probably Giannis, James Harden, and
we'll see how he
Kawhi.
comes back next year. We'll see how he comes back next
Who's
year.
this
Probably come back and
LeBron
everyone
fellow
say,
you
nope,
talking?
he's the best. He's got this Lakers squad top 4 like he did this year until he got hurt.
Once they make that trade for Zion.
The Lakers are top 4 in the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm. Like Stephen said, once my prophecy comes true and Zion's a Laker.
Don't worry, the Lakers will find a way to fuck everything up. So,
No, if the NBA lottery is rigged, get off the playoffs for a second. If the NBA lottery is rigged, the NBA at least did a good year of kind of like making everybody think that it's not rigged.
Kind of.
by having New Orleans and Memphis as the top 2.
Yeah, but New Orleans, it made it seem like, because now I heard even more conspiracy. We'll see. The owners got together and they didn't want a major superstar leaving a small market. So what do? They give him the number 1 pick to make sure he doesn't leave.
Did you see the New Orleans representative?
That's keep Anthony Davis there.
I don't know. But if Memphis got that number 1 pick, I totally agree with you. I mean, you can't say it's rigged at all, because what are you doing by giving Memphis the number 1 pick? It didn't matter. Just giving them Zion.
Why were the rookies there anyway? I don't understand that.
I don't.
It's just all to make money. They just.
And I also don't believe Zion's dad for 1 second that they're happy that New Orleans got the number 1 pick.
Oh, I'm sure they're not.
Everyone was laughing about it. Like, are you shitting me? Like, you look at the reaction, it's not
because they saw Zion's reaction. Yeah, so his dad had to play, everyone would call it, had to control the situation and say, no, he's happy. We're already looking at homes in New Orleans. We're happy to be at the Crescent City. Okay.
It is
pretty amazing though that you get to possibly lose one superstar and you just get the number 1 pick. Kind of like what the Cavs did when they lost LeBron and then got Kyrie.
Honestly, if they are able to keep Anthony Davis because of that.
Or didn't they get Andrew Wiggins? Did they get Andrew Wiggins first?
Cleveland got Wiggins, yeah. If they're able to keep Anthony Davis, I don't think Drew Holiday, Zion, and Anthony Davis is that bad.
They just need a point guard.
Drew Holiday?
But Drew Holiday plays better as a 2.
I know, he played the 2 this year a lot, yeah.
Plays better as a 2 guard. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Warriors are just too good. Even without the best player in the world, they're too good.
Well, I think Curry reminded everybody how good he is.
Well, isn't Zion the best player in the world anyway? So.
No, stop that. Moving on to the other Western Conference semi. Blazers at Nuggets. Spoiler alert: Blazers won. We were already talking about them playing the Warriors. This was a pretty good Game 7.
That's a team, Stefan, that we were talking about as a player away.
Yeah,
a player away of making real noise.
I really didn't think, I know Nuggets have been good all year. I thought they were pretenders. Jamal Murray, I think, is blossoming into a star right before our very eyes. Jokic is already a stud. Like you said, makes everybody playing in rec leagues think they can now go join the NBA, me included. I'm just going to keep packing on more weight until I can bang with the big dogs.
It's his mind he's lucky that his mind is way above everyone else. Yeah.
He's one of the smartest players probably in the entire league. He just there's a fight going on outside right now.
Oh, I miss the ghetto.
I think it's next door. So anyways,
I said I wanted meatloaf.
Mom!
It kind of reminds me, I kind of put it, when I was younger playing basketball, it was just all about, being as fast as you could, being talented, blah, blah, blah. Then as I got older and playing against younger players, I just had to get smarter. And, you just have to, make up for, all that, less athleticism and stuff. And just got to be smarter with the game.
Yeah, but he's younger
But that's what I'm saying. Is he's already he's young and he's just that smart. He's only going to get better.
That's how I think people feel about Doncic too.
Yeah. No. He's
because he's also athletic.
I can't even describe him.
Shots yet?
Yeah.
Getting closer.
Time out for a second.
Well, Stefan figures out the drama.
All right, there you go. Bunch of hoodlums. Okay. So we moved on to the Western Conference Finals. Warriors, Blazers. Blazers didn't really compete much game 1.
A lot of people were saying it looked like a regular season game with the way Portland played defense against Golden State. Golden State coming from the physical Houston matchup, and a lot of the shooters were saying they were rolling off of picks and being untouched and surprised at how open they were.
The only thing I'll say is up until the fourth quarter when Clay and Steph got it going together and really pulled away, the game was close, and Portland had a huge turnover margin as far as how many turnovers they had.
Even in the first
Golden
half.
State.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, if Portland on the road can turn it over this many times and stay within 8.
Yeah.
Within 8, they have a legit chance. But then the fourth quarter happened and reminded me, no, they don't. Because Clay and Steph, when they get going together, if it's one quarter, they just pull away by such a wide margin.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Steph is just unconscious when he gets going. It's just unreal.
The two of them. Clay hit a shot where they timed
fraction
it at
of a second.
0.5 and touching the ball. He just went whoop, whoop, flipped it, and it went in. I was like, what? That's literally unguardable. You can't guard that.
Game 2 is tonight. We'll see if Blazers can try to steal one. Blazers stealing on the road. Do you think they have a chance? Or
yeah, if they steal one on the road, they have a chance.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying, though, if they steal one on the road, all it means is they're going to win 2 games.
So we're almost guaranteeing that Golden State wins at least one in Portland.
Yeah, yeah.
At least one, if not both.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, that's where we're at. And then we got the NBA lottery draft last night.
We touched on that.
Touched on it a little bit.
The big news was the Knicks not getting the first pick.
Who were the team? Who had the highest odds? It was
the three teams.
Suns.
It was the Knicks, the Suns.
I thought one
the
team had the
Hawks.
highest odds, and then like there was three that had like the same amount of balls after that.
So no, it's
They do it differently.
yeah.
now.
It's the three teams that finish with the worst records now all have the same chance. They're trying to fix,
They're
Yeah.
trying to fix tanking. Yeah.
and apparently it worked.
It did.
At least for this year.
It did work. It threw
Right.
everyone off.
I think it was the Knicks, the Suns, and the Hawks.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So yeah, Pelicans got the number 1 pick. Memphis got number 2 pick. A lot of debate on the number 2 pick, whether it's going to be R.J. Barrett or Ja Morant. Sounds like Memphis is all in on Ja Morant at this point.
I think the top 11 all are teams. The teams didn't place where they should have if they went by just standings.
I think, honestly, the Lakers are in the worst spot. Because in this draft, I think it's super thin, and there's only 3 good players.
Yep. But they're going to get Zion, so what's it matter?
Yeah, there's
Or I think if the Lakers don't get Zion and they get Anthony Davis instead, they'll be pretty happy.
I think the Lakers...
maybe they trade that pick and like some other future first-round picks.
They have a lot
For
of
Anthony.
first-round
Hey,
picks,
Davis.
too.
Yeah, I would. I'd say you can have our 4th pick and some. Yeah, exactly that. You can have our 4th pick and some futures for Anthony.
Right.
They'll probably bite on it.
Yeah.
I think they have like...
I think the Lakers, if they can say in the 4th pick of this draft we got Anthony Davis, would be pretty happy.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers have like 5 first-round draft picks in the next 3 drafts. So they have some capital.
Surprise to anybody who didn't know, Celtics have made it into the lottery once again.
They have 3 picks in the first round.
Danny Ainge always stockpiling draft picks.
It's so funny that
This dude just pulls draft picks out of his pocket. Like I don't even know where he gets them from half the time.
I know the Kevin Garnett trade's been over, man. How do you feel about all these picks?
He's still reaping the rewards of a trade.
Brooklyn's just starting to be allowed to pick because of that Kevin Garnett trade.
I still don't understand how that worked, though. How if the Kings got the first pick, the Sixers got it. Otherwise, it was the Celtics. Like, how do you make that happen to that point?
I have no idea. They do some funky shit in the NBA.
So no Zion and Trae Young duo.
I was sad about that one.
Fortunately.
I texted you guys saying how I was looking forward to that one, contrary to agreeing with Stefan.
Yeah. And I was on record as saying I'd like to see him on the Suns. I thought if he went there, it was a nice young core. And I miss Phoenix being relevant. They were relevant when we were kids, and then relevant in the mid-2000s with Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion. They've always been a good franchise. It's just kind of sad how bad they are now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been pretty awful for quite a while.
Yeah, if in my opinion, just too long for a franchise that's good. Should be good.
Well, I thought that way about the Sixers too.
Yeah, but your method of madness is working. I'm not all in on Phoenix's method of.
Do they even have a method?
No, that's the problem. You
gotta wait for some of those guys to
your
develop.
GM was like, trust the process.
You just gotta let them develop a little more. Give them time. Give them time.
I think the team that was most disappointed though was the Knicks.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Their fans all cried that night.
Yeah. I've seen some people with like Zion. Knicks,
what was it? Stephen A's reaction. That was funny.
Yeah. The Knicks are just destined to be bad ever since 2000.
That one, what's his face, took ownership.
But the funny thing is that the Knicks are tied for third best odds to win championship next year.
What?
That's if they sign Durant.
Oh,
but that's not. But that's
or
what
Kawhi.
they're just banking on them signing these big free agents.
They have 16-1 odds if they sign one of the two.
Kyrie or Durant.
Kyrie, Durant, or Leonard.
Leonard.
It drops dramatically if they don't sign any of those players. It drops to 300-1. I think I heard. So
I
it
heard
is
the Knicks are going to
contingent.
try to make a strong pitch to Durant and Kyrie. Try to get both.
I don't see both.
If they get both, and let's say they get RJ Barrett, say that we just go with how it's fallen in line.
Kyrie doesn't even like playing in Boston. How is he gonna like playing with New York media?
But Boston, is considered a white town. New York's not.
Yeah, but still, if
I think he'll feel more beloved there. To be honest, nowhere's home for him because he's Australian, so it doesn't really matter where he plays.
What if Jimmy Butler ends up there?
I can see Jimmy Butler fits the Knicks. He's a hard-nosed, tough guy.
Book it.
Anyways.
Right here, this is what I'm talking about. This doesn't say anything about fuck. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Doesn't say anything about fuck? Whoa.
What are you watching?
Porn.
Yeah, the other side. Move it over to your left. All right. Yeah, plus 1,200. They're tied with the Clippers? Who are the Clippers getting?
The Clippers are the new team in LA.
Is Durant going over to that LA just to combat LeBron even more?
Who knows? All right. Enough NBA talk. Let's move on to
another New York team.
Another great thing going on. NFL news.
Kevin's second favorite team. Big things.
Kevin,
I don't understand. It's almost like the New York teams are like, you know what? I can top that story. Let's see what we can do. Next, you're gonna find out the Giants are gonna promote Eli to kicker. Like, this is the way the New York teams are going right now. Like, you can't make this story up.
So basically, after the Giants' amazing offseason that they had,
and their good draft pick in Daniel Jones,
the Jets had to top it and fired their GM, who just spent a ton of money on free agents and was in control of the entire draft for the Jets.
$125 million, I think he spent
on 4 players, basically.
I mean, if you were planning on firing the guy, or if you had any, there's no way that this just happened. All of a sudden, they were like, no, he's just not cutting it. Like, they had to have been thinking this. Like, you get rid of the guy before he does all this shit, so you can bring it. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, according to what I heard, it was Gase who basically complained about his GM style to the owner. I guess there's been rumors going the past couple of weeks about there being a little animosity towards one another. And apparently, finally, the owner was just, or the president or whoever's running the Jets at this point. I know the actual owner of the Jets is over being the U.S. representative over in the UK or whatever for the consulate, I believe is what it's called. And so the brother's running the team now. And basically gave the GM all the power the last couple of years. And then brings in this Gase guy. And now Gase gets him fired. Like, it's like, why would you, if there was any type of, like, I don't understand. They've done this before with Rex Ryan, where they gave Rex more power over the GM, and look how that turned out. Like,
I feel like more often than not, this never works out. Eagles did it with Chip Kelly to let him be.
The only team it works out with is the Patriots.
Yeah. Unless you actually have a guy that knows what the hell he's doing.
I heard it had mostly to do. I heard it mostly had to do with that Bell deal.
Which I get, but I don't get. They think they overpaid him, but I mean,
they did. You don't pay running backs that much. I am a firm believer in that. They're not worth it. There's too many good ones out there, and they have a short shelf life.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll see. I'll probably have them at 8-8 this year.
Nah, Le'Veon Bell gets at least 9 wins.
I mean, we got to see what happens with their quarterback. Why am I drawing a blank on his name right now?
Sam Darnold.
Sam
Sam Darnold.
See what he does this year. With
Darby.
Darby. I forgot. It's all coming back to me. It's like a flood. I mean, they made some moves. I mean, with someone in the backfield at least. We'll see how Bell's year off affects him. If he comes back better than ever or worse than ever. I mean, well, we got like almost 100 days away from kickoff here.
Can't wait.
I know there's 100 days till NCAA football. Oh, speaking, I forgot to throw this in the notes. Did you see the NCAA is finally might make it possible for the players to make money off of their likeness?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's something about it. I thought that they were doing. I thought it was going the other way. I thought they were like trying to like sue.
Well, they're trying to make it so they don't have to worry about the schools paying the students. So, I mean, which I think when we had the debate like 100 episodes ago, I think that's what we came down to. If they were able to make money off their likeness, I wouldn't have an issue with it as much as I do now, where it's like, nope, if you, like, I guess there was a rule where the school could provide you a bagel and no cream cheese. Like, if they provided you cream cheese, that broke an NCAA rule. Like, it was like, what the hell? Like, so, I mean, it's a step in the right direction, I guess. I mean, with Corey's stance on school is that form of education is worth the pay. I would be fine if they could, like, I know this didn't happen. There was one player that was also like a snowboarder and tried to run a business off of it, and the NCAA shut it down or suspended him, one of the two, because he was making money off his likeness, they claimed, even though it wasn't even the sport he was playing in. It was like tennis. So stuff like that, I think, would be benefit. It would be like if Zion came out with his DVD during his freshman year and he made money off of that. Like, that I'm fine with. If they can go out and do that, then sure, whatever. Like, if people are dumb enough to spend $10 on a dunk highlight video, you know, and gets all the right credentials from the school.
Definitely.
If he wants to huck cars for some car dealership in town, fine, you know.
I'll buy
it. Zion, I hear you still need an agent. I got more ideas, flowing if you need them. So
What do you feel about that? We didn't even talk on that.
What?
Do you think? Well, no agent. So if
Oh.
he didn't like the Pelicans, he could go back.
I think he's.
Dad already said that he's not.
I don't think.
Yeah, but I personally don't believe anything his dad says.
I think the fact that he had that whole injury scare with his shoe blowing out, I think he'd rather cash in than wait another year.
You know how that goes. You don't take that chance.
Not when you're number one.
No.
Not when you're number one pick.
Isn't that guaranteed money in the NBA?
Yeah.
All lottery picks are guaranteed. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be all first rounder guaranteed. I don't know. But yeah, he's not going back. Moving on to some other North Carolina news.
If Zion does return, I'm flying to Corey and doing a secret mission for Syracuse basketball this year. We already got Jones back. What the I don't need Zion.
NASCAR is visiting North Carolina this week. I think this week.
No, well, this week's the All-Star race.
Oh,
so
Jesus,
we don't have to pick this week?
So
the actual race, it's all in Charlotte, but the actual race is next week.
Okay.
Another one of these fucking wait 2 weeks things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Real sick
Did
of
you
this.
vote for the fans get to vote in one driver? Did you put in?
Yeah, of course I voted.
Put in Danica.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 right now for fan votes. Number 1 is Alex Bowman. Number 2 is Kyle Larson. Number 3 is Matt DiBenedetto. Number 4 is Bubba Wallace. And number 5 is Will Byron.
Not exactly who I would have stopped and voted up there.
Last race was Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty decent race.
Did not capitalize on Stefan's worst week.
Yeah, there were some big names that struggled. Truex being one of them. He was hovering around top, and the problem was with Kansas is it's a night race, but you start during the day. So when the sun goes down, the track conditions change. And that's part of your team has to be able to figure out what to change on the car when that happens. You saw the teams that aren't very strong struggle. Jimmy Johnson complained after the race that he knows his team's not good this year, and he's going to have to really weigh his options at the end of the season because he becomes a free agent. We talked about Truex struggling early in the season. He didn't even have wins yet, so I know his team is He's just an amazing driver, so he was able to get wins earlier, just a few weeks ago. But you saw drivers that were in the front move to the back after the change in conditions. The other news: Alex Bowman ties a record. He's come in second 3 weeks in a row. Only 4 other drivers have ever done that. Come in second or first or higher. Only 2 drivers have done it for 4 times. He's the 3rd driver to do it 3. Luckily, I picked Alex Bowman. He's on a hot streak right now. Stefan took Martin Truex. Kevin, who did you take? Will Byron?
Yeah.
Byron, I was surprised, struggled, but he did. He was one of those ones that was good early. They were saying he had one of the best cars, and then nighttime hit, and he fell to the back. So we move into Charlotte. If there's a race for Jimmy Johnson to get it back together, this is his track. He's historically owned it. But Jimmy doesn't look like Jimmy, so take him at your own risk. I'm not even picking him to win it. I think Kevin Harvick finally gets his first win and takes Charlotte. I think Kyle Busch will win the All-Star race, though, because it's a clean $1 million. There's no payouts for second place down. You win, you get $1 million.
Jeez, what's the point of even racing if you don't win?
There isn't. But
at that
there's
point,
a point to get $1 million.
At that point, it's like I'm taking everyone out. I don't even care. Little tap, 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 tapperoo.
So, since I had the most points last week, gained some ground on Stefan, much needed. We're at the halfway point now, too. After Charlotte, we're halfway. So, I need to make up more ground. I took Denny Hamlin.
It's a tier 1 driver, I believe you would call him.
I call him a tier 1, yes. I need to make up ground.
Swinging for the fences now.
I'm on the back half after this, so I need to start making moves.
Now, Stefan, you don't have to take someone right now.
I know I don't.
But if you do, you can.
Huh?
I said if you can, if you want to.
Are you not picking? Are you not going to pick someone?
Well,
right now?
I can't pick until you pick, so.
Oh, are you just saying he doesn't need to because it's not for another few weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought I was picking third.
No.
I thought I knew who I wanted to take, but now I'm not so sure. I just went and looked back through the past 3 races, and that person has not been doing very well. So, we'll pull an audible. I'll go with. Who are you taking? Denny Hamlin?
I took Denny Hamlin, who's been hot there lately.
I don't want to lose my lead. Like,
Oh, he's turning into Ben. He's feeling the pressure.
no, Ben was playing from behind. Okay, there's no pressure when you're playing from behind.
There's no pressure
What's
when you're
my
playing.
lead at?
Yeah, I have the pressure in UFC. Apparently, it showed this past weekend.
I got a 41-point lead.
He's trying to do math now. He's playing Moneyball.
If this guy gives me a 20.
I just need somebody to get me in like the middle of the pack here. All right.
Oh boy.
Ooh, interesting.
Go with Paul Menard.
You know what? Corey mentioned how this driver has been struggling, becoming a free agent. I feel like that little comment was motivation. I'm going with Johnson, Jimmy Johnson. This is his track, and as long as he gets me 30, I'll be happy.
It is his track. If he can get it going from here on out.
I don't even care about the rest of the year. If Corey can get 33, I want 30. That's all I want.
I mean, he's still one, even though he hasn't won a race, I still call him tier 1. He's someone that you hope to get 30 points from.
I think I only have like 1 left. But he hasn't been doing well this year, as you said. He's got a couple
Harvick.
wins.
Oh, you have Harvick left. Oh, no, you
No,
don't.
I don't. I got Truex Jr.
Truex. You have Chase Elliott left.
Oh,
I
yeah.
consider him tier 1.
Okay. I forget. I only see Elliott. I see Elliott. I'm like, later.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing too. I don't think I use him yet.
No one has.
No one has.
No one has. He's my favorite driver, so I try to take him later when I get a good read on where he's at.
All right. So next week we'll have a chance to change if we want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
All right. Moving on to UFC. 237 happened last weekend.
Shout out to Ben.
Corey had a great week. His picks.
At least I didn't get a 0.
Played it. Got that first point early.
And also, good thing I had a decent lead.
Sizable lead.
Yeah. Where I could have a hiccup.
You guys can lead the way on this talk.
Go ahead, Kevin. I only saw 2 of the fights, so.
We had the Alves Strapoli fight. Strapoli pretty much dominated Alves. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in my favor. Brazilians did not have a good, except for one, did not have a good outing this UFC fight in Brazil.
Stefan's first 5, right?
Yeah. First 5 ever for Stefan.
First 5 ever?
Yeah.
Yep. Staropoli, your new favorite fighter.
Yep.
New favorite.
Hopefully he fights soon. For he looked good though. I was impressed by. I had never even seen him fight before. I think this was his second fight ever, and I'll definitely be considering him in his next fight if it's a pay-per-view. Let's see here. I have Aldo loses by decision. He just looked tired. He was, I guess, sick with some kind of infection. And then, who did he fight?
He fought Volkanovski.
Who won by decision.
Aldo, I thought looked like...
One of the 2 fights, because the other fight ended up getting canceled because of weight cut issues. But Volkanovski won by decision, and I picked him for a knockout in the second. It wasn't like anything over the top for the Aldo fight. I will say, I guess Volkanovski landed in Chile and is now stuck in Chile because he too has an infection. Many people are believing he got the infection from Aldo during the fight, so I guess his foot blew up. He's got like some kind of blood infection, so now in Chile for the time being until that's all set. Then the Silva fight happened. That was the co-main event.
That's the one that killed me because Ben got a 5 off a technicality, which sucked.
Yep. Because we don't consider TKO or KO different. Ben got the full 5. His first 5 this year, I believe.
Yeah.
First fight.
Well, actually his Volkanovski fight got him his first 5. Silva happened after.
Yeah. Sorry. But he basically was down on the ground at the end of the first round. And what was it? Jared, I listened to an interview he did yesterday, and he was saying how he just kicked his knee, and he thinks Silva sprained his knee. That's all. Like the kneecap moved so that the ligaments got sprained. So he's 44. Come on, just retire. Like Aldo,
yeah, hang it up.
Like Aldo's not there yet, but Silva, you're 44. You've broken your leg. You've sprained your knee. Like let's not tarnish the legacy. Like what's his face there? BJ Penn, who also lost in this card, the prelims. This time reportedly looked gassed. I didn't watch the fight yet, so I don't know how that worked out. And then the main event was the Rose Namajunas, her first fight since like last year around this time. She was dominating. She dominated the first round. I was a little nervous that it was going to be an early knockout. And then came the second round where she just was still dominating, and then she slipped up, and Andrade picked her up, and she tried to go for an armbar, and Andrade just dropped her on her head and knocked her out. So I think it's the first female knockout by that way, and I believe first time since Rampage did it. So we're talking about 10 years now. It's not legal if you're trying to do it intentionally, but obviously she wasn't trying to do it intentionally, so.
Yeah, like Andre said after the fight, honestly, if Rose just let go of the armbar, it's an easy move to avoid.
Yeah. And it's like and after the fight, Rose was debating about even fighting anymore, so there's that.
Yeah, I heard she's contemplating retiring.
Not surprised with her attitude and stuff, with her issues and sensitivities and stuff. So Obviously not a big Rose fan. I think she's just like, I don't know. I don't like her personality. She tries to act tough, but isn't type personality. Like, she was frightened for her life to the point where she couldn't leave the house after the Connor incident, but then she was trying to talk trash about Andrade before the fight, like how she's the baddest woman in the planet and whatnot. It's like, come on. Let's not go that far. Like, so I get where she's coming from though, with all the press and stuff they have to do compared to when you're just a regular fighter, but I mean, it comes with the belt, I guess, you know. With great, well, what's the saying? With great I don't even know. Comes great responsibility.
Comes great responsibility.
Yeah, I only know the ending. With greatness. That's our saying.
Great power.
Great power. There you go.
It's a great saying.
Yeah. Must be a DC saying, because if it was Marvel, I'd be all on it.
Yeah, it's definitely a Superman thing.
But yeah, 237. It wasn't too bad of a card. I'm kind of interested on the. I haven't seen the pay-per-view buys yet. I know the last one, which was the first one behind the ESPN Plus paywall, was only 70,000. So,
Yikes!
Yeah, is that gonna make your yikes segment now? I think they were projecting this one at like maybe 100,000, which is still not impressive for the UFC lately. So, I mean, I'll look it up when Corey's doing his yikes, because it might make an honorable mention. But 238's turning into quite the card. We'll have that in a couple weeks.
Ferguson, Cerrone, I'm excited for that one.
Yep. And then you got Cejudo Morales. I think there's supposed to be an L in there. That one's exciting. Morales. That sounds right. I don't know.
Yes.
Moraes, maybe. I don't know. Sure. But yeah, that Tony Ferguson Donald Cerrone fight. I'll be back in Syracuse, so Stefan.
P-dubs.
I don't want to spend money. I know a place.
Oh, he knows. Oh, I know.
Yeah. Tony?
No.
No.
My cousin.
I saw him at Costco the other day.
Yeah. And then we have UFC 239. The big one. That one hopefully holds up. Kind of excited to see Junior Dos Santos fight against Ngannou. And obviously John Jones fighting again. And then UFC 240 got announced. It was Holloway Edgar. So that one's going to be interesting. Holloway returning back to his weight class. And then, yeah, 241 is the Cormier Stipe. So action-packed summer, at least. Usually that June card is a little like, whatever. But they at least put something on there. We'll see if it holds up. Like, knock on wood. I don't have any wood around me. But a lot of these cards have been holding up lately, so.
I'm surprised, maybe because it was pay-per-view, boxing held up so well this weekend. A fighter that I like to follow, Jarrett Hurd, fought on Fox, and it peaked at 2.5 million. I thought that was really good for boxing on Fox.
Yeah. I mean,
it's their highest ratings of the year so far. I mean, and he was fighting in his hometown, which probably had a lot to do with the ratings. But,
yeah. I know, like, so more on that 236, how they only had 70,000 pay-per-view buys. They had almost, like, I think it was 850,000 watch the prelims. So, obviously, something didn't translate there. I know they had issues, too, but I mean,
honestly, I didn't find this card that exciting.
Yeah. I guess the prelims for this last fight were down from. Oh, so 236 was 893,000. 237 prelims 813. So.
Well, we've talked before too. The UFC is in big need of a superstar. They don't have one.
And the UFC is acting like they don't care anymore because they got the ESPN money.
They should care because ESPN isn't going to keep giving them money for nothing.
Trying to see. They don't have the pay-per-view buys up yet, though. I'm wondering if ESPN's kind of like hush-hush now because they were talking about Google views now. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they didn't make it easier for people to watch it, putting it behind the ESPN Plus paywall. And I feel like it's a tactic by ESPN to sit there and be like, see, this isn't working, so we're just going to throw it on our ESPN Plus platform in general. Which is a smart move nowadays. And then they can jack people for more money on that instead of the $4.99 or $50 a month that it is. I would appreciate it. Then I wouldn't have to try and find virus-free streams. I mean, legally purchase every fight for $60.
You allegedly illegally stream.
Allegedly find these websites, yeah. They just pop up. I don't know how it got there, officer. I'm sorry. But I think that's good place to leave UFC and move on.
Which leads you right into your book it.
Book it. Speaking of UFC, let's just get this one out of the way. It's gonna be all over the place because I didn't put them in any particular order like I should have. Do we think Rose fights again? Are you booking that she fights again?
Book it. She's just living off emotion right now. She'll come back.
Just going through the motions, getting that paycheck.
Yeah, this is just she's just upset she lost. She'll be back.
It's a contract ploy.
I'll book it.
Didn't sound very confident though.
He did not.
So I honestly have no idea if she's gonna fight it. I have no idea.
I'm gonna book it.
But it's hard to pass up the money, so I can't imagine her just.
I think she'll be back. I think, just like you said, Corey, emotions. It may be another 6 months till we see her again. Maybe the December card or something, but I think she'll be back. Let's talk a little NFL. Reports came out last week that Des Bryant was running again after his injury with the Saints. Do you guys believe he's going to be playing it? Or, excuse me, I put down, will Des Bryant play a game in the NFL next season?
So it's set at one game or zero, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say book it. One game I think he can make.
I think he'll play in one game. This is basically just somebody taking a chance on him.
Yeah, and I'm going to book it as well, and I think that chance is going to come with the Saints again. I think if they took a chance on him once, why not again? Saints winning the Super Bowl next year, you watch. All right. Well, I put this down before the first tee of the PGA Championship. We didn't talk about that, but the PGA Championship going on this weekend started today. Corey took Tiger Woods. Stefan sticking with Fowler, right?
Do at some point.
I took Koepka because this course plays into his style, the long driver. Worked out at least for the first round. We'll see the rest of the weekend. And I forgot who Finau. Jason took Finau. He gave me a couple, and I went with his first one. So he's taking Finau. Finau, top 17. Fowler, tied at 9. Koepka is first, by a stroke, and then Tiger Woods is at 2 over, I believe, for the day. So with that being said, and coming off of his Masters, having won at Page Black, apparently this one beer is killing me, my tongue at least. Tiger Woods finishes in the top 3 of the PGA Championship. Are we booking it?
Pass.
Book it. He's winning this shit.
I will say, Tiger.
He's starting to catch up or catch fire, and then he bogeyed a few more.
He was all over the place.
He's battling some illness. He's also staying on his yacht. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Apparently to avoid traffic, so he's staying on his yacht near the golf course. That way he doesn't have to deal with the traffic going into the golf course.
Yeah, I have that problem a lot, too.
It's called balling right there.
Fucking Christ.
No, ballin' is when I heard that Drake just bought a jet and it cost him $120,000 to fill it up with gas. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Could you pay a couple
Where is
months
my
in the
life
mortgage?
right now if I can't afford $120,000 in gas?
God.
Yikes. So the next 2 are about the Pelicans. First one, Zion, rumored to be in trade talks already. Will play for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Pass.
Actual
Nope.
uniform.
He will not play for the Pelicans this year.
Stephen.
Seth is wondering why I'm so confident in the pass. He's trying to figure out if he should go pass or what I know.
I'm gonna book it. But like, imagine if like the Pelicans put together some sort of trade deal where they were able to trade basically Zion and Anthony Davis. Like, I don't even know
for 3 future number 1.
I don't even know. Like, you just get like a decade's worth of like number 1 picks from some team. Like, I don't know what your mind. I don't know. What do you think they're gonna trade away that number 1 pick? I don't know what you're thinking.
I think they're gonna. I'm thinking they might honestly look at trading away that number 1 pick to get a superstar to keep Anthony Davis, because Zion's not a gimme. There's other gimmies out there. Like a Jimmy Butler is probably better than Zion at this point.
But you don't know what Zion's going to blossom into. That's the whole point of getting these number 1 picks. You get a chance to possibly draft the next LeBron James or.
There's just something in my head too. Like, I can't envision Zion in a Pelicans jersey. It's just not like matching up.
Envision it because it's happening.
Stefan's booking it. I'm booking it too.
At this point right now, yeah, like they obviously don't want to give up Anthony Davis, but the dude's already halfway out the door. I mean, I'd say he's probably like 3/4 out the door. The team, they lost their chemistry. Like, nobody wants to play with him. Like, what's the point of keeping the guy? Like, he doesn't want to be there. You think signing 1 big free agent is going to keep him there, or trading for 1 superstar is going to keep him there?
Depends on what one you get. If you get Durant, yeah, absolutely.
They're not getting Durant. Nobody wants to go to New Orleans. You even said it yourself.
No, I know. I don't even think Zion wants there.
So
I'm saying he's going back to Duke. Okay, moving on.
All right.
I'm booking
That's
that.
basically your only chance at this point is that he goes back to Duke. Otherwise, he's going to the
All right. Well, with that being said, I'm guessing I already know where Corey's going with this next one. Anthony Davis plays next year with the Pelicans.
Now, is this just plays a game with the Pelicans?
I'm booking that he's with the Pelicans. Obviously,
plays
the whole year with the Pelicans?
He actually plays meaningful games next year.
Half of the season. More than half.
What about to the trade deadline?
That's fine.
Plays to the trade deadline. That's more than half. That's about 50 games.
So he has to play to the trade deadline. So anything past the trade deadline,
It's over. It's overdue. So,
All
I
right.
mean, so basically, at 50, does he play 50 games or more? Or less?
50 games or less. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Excuse me. I'm saying he plays the 50. I think he's staying.
I don't think he's staying. I think he gets traded before the trade deadline. But he'll play. Okay. He won't get traded before the season.
I say
Well,
Play.
Boston's out of the sweepstakes for him with their shitty luck on the draft. So
They're not out of the sweepstakes for him. What are you talking about?
well, they don't have good draft.
They're the only
picks to
ones
get
with-
him.
They're the only ones with fucking
Who wants
Talent.
14, 22, and whatever?
okay, but they're the only ones with talent. Everybody else is just trading
What
with
talent? Kyrie's leaving.
What do you mean?
The
The,
guy
Lakers
who-
offered to give him fucking 5 first-round picks, and they didn't want any of them.
And they want Jason Tatum? They aren't going to want that.
Jason Tatum's better than
Then
anybody.
5 first-round picks?
Anybody in this draft right now.
Well, yeah, because we've seen him.
Exactly. So you know what you're getting at least.
Right. That's what my argument is with Jimmy Butler. I mean, if New Orleans wants Jimmy, you know what you're getting.
Celtics are the only team that has talent to trade them. That they actually want.
The Lakers do now. Bye-bye, LeBron.
Rod's not going anywhere.
what if LeBron gets traded?
He's
to New
certainly
Orleans?
not going to New Orleans. But if he did, and just to match up with Zion, that would be crazy.
What if he got matched up with Davis though instead in New Orleans?
That'd be weird, but it'd be cool. I just want to see LeBron with a superstar again to make him relevant. Otherwise, he remains irrelevant.
Got a superstar. He's got Lonzo Ball.
Stop. I love Lonzo, but he's not a superstar.
Yikes!
What did you say, Kevin? You
I
booking
said
it?
Book it. I'm booking it. I think the Pelicans are gonna hold on to him until they get a trade offer where they feel it's right. And if they get Zion, maybe they pull like what Oklahoma City did and try and convince him to stay.
At some point, like, because he's already said that he wants to be traded. So
Well, he's already named his markets. He wants to be on a big market.
Yeah.
right.
Paul George
Yeah.
wanted to go to LA. Where's he
I
playing?
know. Things change.
The thing is that they're gonna have to pull the trigger. Like, otherwise they're not getting anything for him. They're gonna lose him to free agency. Unless you really think that adding Zion is gonna make, or adding any other superstar, which they're not gonna add any other superstar because nobody wants to go to fucking New Orleans.
I don't know. Maybe someone like Mardi Gras. Who knows?
Not happening. He'll be traded before the trade deadline.
Kemba Walker wants out of Charlotte. Maybe he goes to New Orleans.
Not to go to New Orleans. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, teaming up with Drew Holiday and Zion's better than where he's at.
I'd rather stay there.
Pretty much anyone
Really?
is better.
You'd
Yeah.
rather stay in Charlotte?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
You
Bring back
I'd rather play with Zion and Drew Holiday.
Morrison in his prime. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
cheesy mustache and all.
Ugh.
And by Morrison, I meant me throwing on my Adam Morrison jersey and going out there and playing.
You would have done just as well.
I could have sat that bench in LA.
Yeah, you could have worn that for all that.
All right, let's get into the yikes.
I thought he had one more.
No, that
Oh,
That was it?
Yep.
Perfect. My yikes this week. Opener. Tiger Woods. Yikes. In the headlines for the wrong reasons. You're being sued because there was a guy who left your restaurant intoxicated, got into a car accident, and died. and you had video evidence of your people still giving him drinks while he was highly intoxicated, and you destroyed it. So the police are not happy with you and your restaurant. You're probably in some trouble. Probably should have stayed away from you for this tournament. I'm sure you have other things on your mind.
Did he personally destroy it?
They're blaming him, but I'm sure he did not. I'm sure someone working at the restaurant did.
Yeah. He might have been the one to say to destroy.
He might have given him the okay.
Yeah.
He probably said, I have enough going on, dude. I just got out of a big problem. So anyways, you're back in a problem, Tiger. Good job. I've seen how long it takes you to mentally recuperate. So 2024, we could expect our next major. Number 2. Yikes. Portland Trailblazers. We talked about their defense was bad, but they allowed 17 three-pointers and allowed Golden State to shoot 52% from 3. You will never win an NBA game if you let someone shoot over 50% from 3. Ever. You'll get swept if you allow this. Curry had 9 by himself, by the way, and that's sometimes some of his are unguardable, but some of them are running under screens. Terry Stotts, come up with a new game plan. Or, how's this? Put out some people who want to defend, like Evan Turner, who played well in his limited minutes, and Zach Collins, who played very well in his limited minutes. Oh, moving on, number 3, Grizzlies. Yikes. Why are you announcing who you're taking already? Like, you're trying to scare Chicago? That was the big thing? You're scaring Chicago because they want Ja Morant? You think they're going to trade you? They're not giving you Zach LaVine. What do you want from them? Chicago has nothing. They're horrible. Yikes. Grizzlies, you continue.
What's wrong with announcing who they want to take, though? I mean...
Because supposedly it was because Chicago wants Ja Morant, and they're letting them know we're taking him. So if you want to make a deal for him, come get him.
So why does that
just really want him?
It's a smart move.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate everything.
If you had no intention of taking him, and then all of a sudden they make this move, and they're giving
Mike Conley's better than Ja Morant. Moving on. You don't even need him.
Who?
Yeah, Mike Conley.
Yeah, nobody. He ain't nothing anymore.
Number 4, Deontay Wilder. Yikes. I don't know if you should be saying things like this. I have your quote. This is the only sport where you can kill a man and get paid for it at the same time. It's fucking legal. So why not use my right to do so? I'm going to destroy this man. Dominic Breazeale and him have a history. They really do not like each other. Dominic Breazeale went to the media saying that Wilder came to his apartment and threatened his wife and kids. Wilder said, that sounds good. You just want to throw wife and kids in there to get a public reaction. That's not really how the story went down. My boys did break down your door, and we took your kids and pushed them over to the side as I came in and screamed in your face, and you bitched up. You didn't want any part of me. And he's saying this is after Dominic threatened him and his family at another event. So they legit don't like each other. It's real. Wilder's trying to kill somebody in the ring this
Stefan
Saturday.
shared the clip with me, Corey. I got it up if you want me to play it.
Hey, Dominic Breazeale asked for this. I didn't go seek him. He seeked me. So if it comes, it comes. This is a brutal sport. This is not a gentleman's sport. I keep saying this is not a gentleman's sport. We don't ask to hit each other in the face, but we does anyway. And if you can ask any doctor around the world, he'll tell you the head is not meant to be hit. Anybody can go. And on this particular time, we have bad blood against each other. This is the only sport where you can kill a man and get paid for it at the same time. It's legal. So why not use my right to do so? This became afraid.
I love it.
So are you tuning in?
Oh, I'm tuning in. Maybe. Probably not. I'm working.
I'll watch the replay.
I don't think they're going to touch gloves before the fight. That's just a guess.
Touch gloves if you want to. That's always the best. When the ref already knows, like, it's not going to happen. There's been several fights where, like, I've seen the UFC refs just be like, touch gloves if you want them. And as, like, he says it, he's already spreading them apart. Like,
Then, similar to the Wilder situation, number 5, Nick Kyrgios attacking several players on the tour verbally on a podcast. This is a tennis tour. He has a history with Fernando Verdasco. They do not like each other. He is quoted as saying, Fernando doesn't say hello. He thinks he's so good. He thinks he's God's gift. Dude, your backhand's pretty average, and let's be honest, you hit a ball over a net. Newsflash, Nick, that's all you do. So whether he's likable or not, I don't really know what you're going at. But yeah, Fernando Verdasco isn't that great, so I don't even know why Nick Kyrgios is giving him time of day, to be honest. But he goes on to bigger and better people. Let's talk about Novak Djokovic. We're talking about a guy who pulled out of the Australian Open one year because it was too hot. What a wimp. No matter how many Grand Slams he wins, he will never be the greatest for me. So now he's going at the number one player. He also goes on to say, plus, I've beaten him twice this year. And let's be honest, if I can beat you, how good are you? It doesn't stop there. He goes on to go at Rafael Nadal. Every time I've beaten him, when he wins, it's fine. He won't say anything bad. He'll even credit me and say I was a great player. But as soon as I beat him, he says, I have no respect for him, his fans, and no respect for the game. He's so hypocritical. So Nick Kyrgios was feeling himself this weekend. Decided to verbal lash everyone on tour. We'll see how that goes. I have a feeling he doesn't care, though. He's that kind of player.
He takes the gentleman right out of this gentleman's sport.
That's being the bad guy. He has from the beginning. He's also gotten in trouble several times now for not trying in a game.
He was not talented in the right sport, apparently, because tennis is just not where he should be.
He goes on to say that if I tried half as hard as Djokovic did, if I trained as hard as him, I'd be that great too. So he admits that he doesn't even train.
Yeah.
He just plays. He's just naturally gifted at tennis, so he just plays.
But he might also just be saying that because he's really not going to ever be as good as Djokovic.
He did say at one point that he's a great player. There's just a lot of things about him that annoy him. That being one of them. He also says something about Djokovic just having... He goes, being around these guys in the locker, you learn a lot about them, and Djokovic has this thing about him where he wants everyone to like him because that's how Roger has been for so long, and he wants to be Roger. And Kyrgios said that annoys him, that he wants to be another dude. He thinks it's weird.
Kyrgios is a weird dude. If anybody's weird, it's Kyrgios.
So that's my yikes.
Yeah.
I had some quotes this week. Did some work.
Another solid week of...
Yeah.
Another week of Kevin not on Yikes.
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta take a phone call.
All right. Thought I was gonna make it. Thought my performance in UFC would have earned me like honorable mention or something.
I was gonna give himself a yikes.
Jesus.
This 1 point performance.
Can't please.
No, I figured it was something wrong because you keep calling.
Or displease. All right. Well. You got anything else?
I'm back.
That was quick.
Kevin's just waiting for that day you give him a yikes.
Yeah.
I don't know what he can do really, unless you pick a player that like gets a 0 in NBA one and done.
I'm mediocrity always going to be like yikes, maybe.
You're never good enough and you're never bad enough.
I'm never bad enough.
Just in the middle.
I'm never bad enough.
Yikes is only for one or the other.
Never bad enough to make yikes.
You should be happy about that. Stefan and I have been bad enough to make yikes. That's not good.
Surprised you didn't give yourself a yikes for that 1 point
For the
performance.
UFC, I almost was going to, but I was like, you know what? I have such a surmountable lead at this point. I'm not going to yikes me yet. If I blow it by the end of the year, yeah.
We're not even halfway. We're like just got to halfway.
You're starting to sound a lot like Ben right now. Oh, I've got such an insurmountable lead right now.
I can't wait to hear Ben on his next opportunity to speak.
I told him we're not doing one for the June 8th. I'm going to be out of town. That was before the fight, so I haven't even talked to him since the fights. I haven't even told him. I've given him an update that he's now tied with Stefan for second place.
Yeah. Well, when you do give him the update, you should tell him if you'd like to, do a little video recording of saying something about finally coming back, making himself relevant again.
Yeah, still down by 14. So
the Tiger Woods of UFC picks.
Oh, welcome to from mediocrity to second place.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, that was quite the episode. I think we talked the first half hour about life.
That's why it ran long.
Yeah, I know.
Damn NFL offseason.
It really is. We need another bracket coming up already.
We gotta figure that out. I know I thought about like French fry styles. That'd be a good bracket.
How many different French fries are there?
Waffle, crinkle,
steak fry,
curly,
steak. Yeah, Arby fries.
There's probably a lot, actually.
Yeah, there is a lot. That's why I was like, oh, that'd be a good bracket.
Potato, actually.
Yeah.
We just do different preparations of potato. There's a lot of potato you can do.
There's baked potato, mashed potatoes, hash browns.
I don't know. I feel like this topic might be a reach.
Tater tots. Is tater tots like a fry? Would you consider that a fry, or is that like
potato?
See? Let's just do potatoes. And then the
Just
fries
potatoes?
would be like the upper bracket, and then other potatoes products would be in the lower bracket.
Well, Kevin, GOT will be over next weekend.
Yeah.
Or this weekend.
Yeah. And?
I don't know. Just talk. I was trying to think of a bracket real quick off the top of my head, but I can't.
That could be a bracket you guys do by yourselves.
Best Game of Thrones episode.
Best medieval show or movie of all time. I pick Willow.
What is Willow?
You've never seen Willow?
I don't think I've ever seen Willow.
Oh.
Is it a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
Huh.
Hello.
I can't even think of something other than Game of Thrones that's like a medieval.
What, 300 count? 300 would count, right? No.
It's Greek. It's like, it's not medieval. Medieval would be like A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
With Heath Ledger.
Princess Bride.
Yep.
I didn't like that though.
Princess Bride's solid, man. That'd probably be number one, actually.
Princess Bride is super solid.
It's alright.
Ooh.
It's like my Rudy. For medieval movies.
Kevin, you're about to make a yikes. Good job.
Kevin's movie taste. Not a fan of Rudy. Not a fan of Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Basically not a fan of anything good.
Not a fan of classics.
But those Marvel movies make them tear up, man. Watch yourself.
Just that last one.
Endgame is a classic in his eyes.
And a lot of other people setting records.
Will it pass?
See, I keep on hearing people say Infinity War was better. But Endgame is just a good conclusion.
I haven't heard anyone say Infinity War is better.
Oh, on my Twitter feed, they all say it's more entertaining.
Oh, I did talk to Ben about Endgame, and he's like, it's stupid. It's 3 hours long. It doesn't have to be 3 hours long. It's like, what?
Oh, I actually haven't heard that argument. I just heard that Infinity War was more entertaining.
He also is the same guy. He says these type of things, but he is also the same guy that watches Game of Thrones, even though he despises it. He hates it, but watches it.
Is it?
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
He's like, it's a stupid show. All right. To be debated. Don't get on your shows.
He's probably like one of those guys that likes The Office or something.
All right, guys. Well, A-Town.
I'm actually sure he's probably like one of the people that anything that's like popular he hates. I hate the bands you like because I knew them before they were
Corey also though.
I know, I do that too. If I don't start, my thing is if I don't start from the beginning, I do hate it if it gets popular. Like GOTS started when it first came on. I just happened to watch that. I was like, I wonder what this show's about. So I stuck with it. LeBron, I watched from the high school. Same with Zion. But like Kobe, I didn't even know of, and he got real popular. I was like, I fucking hate Kobe Bryant, and I stayed on that train. I don't hop on late trains like Walking Dead. I never caught on early, so I never jumped on it.
Trae Young.
Yeah, Trae Young. I give that to Stephen. He can have it.
I'll take it.
Yep.
Are we doing a Tuesday show next week? All right. Well, Stephen looks like doing Tuesday.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Monday through Wednesday. So,
Monday through Wednesday, we'll be talking about NBA playoffs once again. Maybe we'll have a bracket. Maybe if we get motivated. And it'll be better because I don't know what else we're going to talk about. Maybe something will happen with the Giants or Jets. We'll see what happens with.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with New York Sports.
123 coming at you either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday next week. But until then, later.